developers to come out there and spend money. Well, this is what the high-income neighborhood looks like in downtown, right? You don't see it because it's completely vacant out here. It's a free fall. There's buildings all the way over here that I'm going to walk you to and show you. Like $50 million, $100 million, $200 million buildings, all vandalized, all destroyed, all just getting wrecked. And I think the city, they want this. They want the collapse to unfold. They want it to escalate. And why? It's because they're all going to run out here to pick everything up on the street. They're going to take all of this inventory, all of this property up for nothing. For nothing. And here's how this entire situation is going to go down. Mark my words. I'll bet money on this. This is how it's going to work. So, 2021, interest rates are 2.5%, 3%. Everybody, any mom, uncle, brother, and sister said, this is the time to refinance for everything you can out of your property. That $10 million property is now worth 18, it's worth 20. Pull 70% against it, right? Pull a $15 million loan out on that $10 million building, right? And people, that's what they were doing. They were refinancing, they had so much money, and they were buying other properties, investing, starting businesses, investing in crypto, doing whatever the hell they wanted to do. Then, as people are levered to the gills, then they increase interest rates from 2.5% to 3% to 7%. They increase property taxes and insurance through the roof. Let's hold this right here, through the roof, and now you have 10% of all commercial properties all throughout America that have to refinance their loans from now until 2027. So the next 2.5, 3 years, you have 10% of all commercial properties throughout the entire country that have to refinance. Between 2.2 and 2.7 trillion, it's a $20 trillion market. It's over 10% technically. And so what is this going to mean? Well, when 80% of all these loans are originated by regional banks, and regional banks are in a pretty hard spot, and they owe $161 billion just in the BTFP, the Bank Term Funding Program, which is coming due every day. More and more banks owe money on this. These banks are going to be very, very, very careful on whom they lend money to and what properties they lend money to or on. And so when you see this, you're like, okay, well, how's this going to work out? Look, properties are only worth what the highest ready, willing, and able buyer is willing to pay for them. And when you have a property like this here downtown, any of these properties, where let's say a former retail tenant might pay 15 or 20 grand a month to run a restaurant out of it, or maybe even more, and now these restaurants are getting run out of business due to all those restrictions and everything that's happened, well, maybe the next tenant might only pay $5,000, $6,000, because people aren't coming here. They're not going to be able to make money. So now you're just going to continue to erode. These regionals aren't going to lend on it. There's not going to be people that are going to, not as many people, they're going to be able to go out there and buy these properties, leaving the perfect scenario for these large institutional investors, back in pension funds, the retirement plans. They're sitting on trillions of dollars. Look at like Blackstone, they have 10 trillion, 11 trillion in assets under management. You have a lot of these, the Blackstone, they have over $1 trillion in AUM. They have all these big companies that are sitting on all this money. If you have these buildings that were selling for $50, $100 million, and now already some of these commercial properties are getting markdowns of 70%, 80% before this crisis really grows, you can imagine. I was in San Francisco last week. There was a building that sold for over $60 million. It just sold for just over $6, a 90% markdown. So this is what's going on. It's an absolute disaster. And so what I think is going to happen is I believe crime is going to get out of control. Crime is going to get a lot worse. And as crime gets worse, people are going to demand a solution for this crime. And so one of these solutions will be cameras, sensors, will be drones, it will be all these different things to make the people feel safer. Now, if you're an investor buying a deal for pennies on the dollar, and they're then going to begin integrating all this technology to make the area safer and where you bought these deals for basically nothing, well, it's only upside for you. It's only upside for that investor. And so that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to unfold. We're witnessing the transformation of downtown LA into a smart city, into a city that is going to get completely revitalized and changed. In the coffee shop, it's all the windows are scratched out with graffiti